Hello and welcome. My name is Calliope and I'm going to be performing your Indian head massage today. How are you doing today? Okay, well, I hope by the time you leave this massage today, you feel even just the littlest bit better. So, before we begin, I just want to ask you if you're comfortable, if the temperature of the room is comfortable, if you need anything at all. Okay, don't need like a drink or anything. Okay, let me know if at any point you do, anything we can make you feel more comfortable, we'll do to the best of our ability. Alright, so for our Indian head massage today, we are going to be focusing, of course, on the head, but we are also going to be massaging the face, the neck, the shoulders, and the arms as well. Are there any spots that you have any sort of injury or anything that is sensitive or tender at all? Then we can adjust a little bit if need be. Okay, everything's all good? That's great. Okay, so before we begin, I just want to ask what your extent of knowledge on Indian head massage is. Okay, yeah, I could just give you a little bit of a synopsis if you'd like. Okay, so our Indian head massage that we are doing today is based off of Indian head massage techniques that are rooted in Ayurvedic treatment, which is very present even today in India, in Hindi culture, and it's been around for literally thousands of years. I believe it's around 4,000 years, so it's been around for a very long time. So Indian head massage, or sometimes it's known as champisage as well, which is a combination of the Hindi word champi for practice and saj for massage. In India, it's known as siro abyangam or shiro abyanga. Depends on who you talk to. The terms differ just a little bit, but it's used very prevalently in that culture. It's very common to go to like a barber shop and receive an Indian head massage, and our technique is based pretty closely on that, save for we're not going to be using any oil today. And in true Indian head massage, oftentimes oil is extremely important in the massage, and oftentimes they'll use sesame oil or medicated oil or also coconut oil, just depending on what a person's constitution is, what they need, what they're focusing on. But today it's going to be completely oilless, so you don't have to worry about going out in the world with a very oily upper body. So, do you have any questions for me so far? Okay, that's wonderful. So, for this massage, I am going to need to be touching you. Is that okay with you? Do I have your permission to do that? That's wonderful. So, I'm going to start by just real quick sanitizing my hands. And then we'll start in on the head. Just to rid my hands of any excess oil. So please let me know if at any point you need the pressure to be more gentle or more firm, or if you experience any pain or discomfort at all, okay? Alright, so for the first part, I'm going to be right in front of you and working on your head, but at certain times I may need to go behind you so that I can better reach different parts of your body, okay? I'll let you know how that goes through the way, okay? Alright, so I'm just going to stand up and I'm going to start working on your head, okay? Alright, so I'm going to stand and just move my stool to the side there. Okay, so let's see here. hair is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so I'm just going to give this a run through with a brush. So I have this little brush here that we're going to be using just to gently detangle the hair. Just run that very softly through. And this helps wake up the scalp a little bit. And starts stimulating a little bit of blood flow. Okay, I think that would be a good start. Okay. Very good. I'm just going to run my fingers through your hair a bit. And just stroke your hair. Kind of finger combing, if you will. Alright, and I'm just going to run my hands over your head. Just use some long, broad effleurage strokes. Just get your head used to my touch and to start warming up the muscles for the massage. I'm just using my nails very lightly to drag along the scalp, just the barest amount of pressure. Just a little bit of a scratch, a little bit of scratch. So now I'm just going to do some finger circles around the scalp. So I'm going to just press and rub along the scalp and then move to a different part and rub. And then move. And then rub. This is where we start seeing a lot of volume in the hair. Just going to use one hand to use our finger circles along the side of the head. Is that pressure okay for you? Okay, very good. Just massaging the back of your head here, those finger circles. all over the head, making sure that I'm massaging every square inch or square centimeter, whatever you prefer. And coming back to the top of the head with those finger circles. And then I'm just going to smooth everything down with the effleurage movements. Smooth it all down. Smoothing it down. Now I'm going to do some very gentle hair twisting, very gentle pulling. So I'm just grabbing about an inch section of hair and very gently just twisting it around my fingers and then just very gently pulling on the hair. Let me know if it's too strong. It's just a very gentle pull. Not trying to move your head at all, not using that much force, but just very gently taking a section of hair, wrapping it around my finger, and pulling. Just going to move to the other side here. Just twisting and pulling. Taking a section. Twisting. Pulling. Taking a section. Twisting and pulling. Under the top layer of hair, twisting, pulling, and another, twisting, pulling, okay, another, twist and pull, and smooth that all back down. Okay, it's looking pretty good. So now I'd like to do some static finger pressure. So I'm just going to use my fingers and just press in and release, press in and release. And I'm just going to work in strips all over the scalp so that I don't miss any part of your head. Work with one hand and then the other. I'll just keep a light pressure on top of your head so that I'm not moving you around too much. Working with those static finger pressures. Just coming up underneath the hair, pressing and releasing. Pressing and releasing, pressing and releasing, all over the scalp, all over the top of the head. And then just smoothing that all back down. Just running my fingers through your hair, very lightly combing the hair. So now I'm just going to use a bit of traction on the head and just use my fingers to squeeze very gently on both sides of the head. So I'm just going to bring my hands underneath your hair and squeeze them towards each other and release. And squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. And I'll come a little bit to the side so that I can just bring my hand on top of your head and the back and squeeze and release. And squeeze and release. Okay. Just smooth the hair down. It's a nice linking movement to do the effleurage between each different massage technique. Here we are. Okay. Now I'd like to do a little bit of kneading on the scalp, in which I just take my fingers and work in kind of a crisscross pattern. All over the scalp. It's working in strips along the scalp. Getting all areas of the head. Just running my fingers through your hair here. Okay, I'm going to very lightly use my hands to do a bit of hacking, which I'm just going to use just the flat part of my hand here to kind of do little chopping motions almost, but they're going to be very light and my wrists are going to be very loose. And it's just going to be little bits of pressure. All around the head. Just little bits. Okay. Smoothing that all down. So finally, I'm just going to do a little bit of scalp scratching here and just stroke this all down. Stroke your hair. Just very gently scratching the scalp. Once I'm finished with smoothing out your hair, then we'll give your hair a little brush through again. And then we'll move on to the neck massage portion of our experience here. Okay, so just going to grab our little brush here and just very gently detangle the hair. Very gently. I think that we have your hair fully detangled. Looks really good. Okay, so I'm just going to bring my stool over and sit right down. So, how was the first part of your Indian head massage? Okay, I just wanted to check in real quick before I pop out of you for a little bit, okay? So I'm going to work on your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your upper back. I'm going to work on all of that behind you, and then we'll finish off with your face massage for very last, okay? Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and go to the other side of you, and I'll see you in a little bit, okay? So I'm just going to start in by just very gently stroking the neck here. And at some points I may be working more from one side or the other. Right now, we're just going to work on warming up the neck. Just by very gently stroking down. And then I'm just going to very gently put my hand on your forehead so that I can work the inner webbing of my index finger and my thumb. And just very gently scoop up the neck and release. And I might be able to do a little bit of circling as well at the top. Is this pressure okay for you? hands and scoop up with the other hand. And I want to just use my thumbs and just go up each side of the spine and just lift off at the top and come back down. And I'm just going to work in strips away from each side of the spine. Just running my thumbs up the neck, lifting off and coming back around. And when I reach the sides of the neck, I'm just going to start coming back inwards. And just working back outwards once more once I reach the spine. And I just want to use all my fingers to just gently track down the neck and just pull downwards. And then very gently track upwards. All the way to the hairline. Then I'm just going to use my thumbs and use some very gentle finger circles. Going up and down either side of the neck here. Then I can use my other fingers to circle around the neck as well. Okay, I'm just going to very gently stroke down. Use our effleurage movements to drain down the neck. Then I can start working in towards the shoulders. So I'm just going to lightly stroke over the shoulders. And just warm up the tissues with my hands, with my fingers, smoothing over. Smoothing the tissue. And I'm just going to use my hands to grip your shoulders with my fingers on the front side and my thumbs on the back, and I'm just going to very gently squeeze, squeeze, squeeze along the shoulders. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze along. Repetitions of 3, squeezing and releasing along your shoulders. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Okay, and now I'm just going to very gently put my forearms, the long thin part of my forearms, and I'm just going to drop my weight a bit onto the tops of your shoulders and press down a little. I'm not going to use my entire weight, but enough to put some pressure on. And then I'm just going to very gently roll outwards, almost like a rolling pin motion. So I'm going to press down, roll, press, roll, press, and roll. Just like that, okay? Press, roll, press, roll, press, roll, press, roll, press, roll, press, and roll. Just like that. Just very, very gentle pressures to help bring your shoulders down a bit. Press, roll, press, roll, press, roll, press, roll. Okay? And I'm just going to smooth that all down again. Use our effleurage strokes, our long, smoothing effleurage along your shoulders to drain all that down. I just want to give your shoulders a bit more of a squeeze again, so I'm just going to grip onto them and squeeze, squeeze, and squeeze, 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 just like that, just squeezing your shoulders. Squeezing your shoulders. Okay, and smoothing that all back down. Okay, now I'm going to grip the outsides of your shoulders here, and I'm just going to gently stroke and rub around those and just use some smoothing strokes down along the outsides of your arms here. Stroking down the arms. Stroking down the arms. Okay, and now I'm just going to very gently grip your arms here and squeeze and grip and squeeze, grip and squeeze, and come back up to the top. Grip, squeeze, grip, squeeze, grip and squeeze, back to the top. Grip, squeeze, grip and squeeze, grip and squeeze, back to the top. Grip, squeeze, grip, squeeze, grip and squeeze, and then smooth it all down again. Smoothing all down your arms. Now I'm just going to come from the side, and I'm going to almost pull my fingers and my thumb together along the side, so that instead of squeezing the underside, I'm just going to come in and squeeze the other side of the arm. It's a little difficult to explain, but you can feel it's a little bit of a different motion there. It's almost more of a rolling motion, if you will, rather than just squeezing. There's a little bit more movement to it. And just pulling along your arms very gently, but firm enough to release any tension in your arms. And I'm just going to smooth that all down once more. Just smooth that down. Smooth, 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 smooth. Okay. I'm just going to very gently, very lightly trail my fingers off, and I'm going to go ahead and just step around, and then we can work on the final part of your Indian head massage with a short little facial massage. So I'm just going to be right around, right in front of you, and we'll get started with that, okay? Okay, so now we're going to finish off with the face massage portion of our Indian head massage, okay? So you can close your eyes, you can keep them open, whatever you'd like, okay? So I'm just gonna start by very gently stroking your forehead. And moving along the cheeks here. There we go. And the chin here. Let's go right here. Just stroking all parts of your face. Get used to my fingertips. Okay, and I'm just going to work to very gently just do some circling on the chin and along the jaw here. Is that pressure okay for you? Excellent. Okay, and just along the back of the jaw here, the TMJ joint, temporomandibular joint can get very sore. And up along the cheeks here, just circling my fingers along there, and now I'm going to do just below your nose, above your lip here, just small finger circles with just one finger each on each side. Okay, and along the nose here. Okay, and I'm just going to very gently rub right between your eyebrows. Very gently. And then along your forehead here. Big circles along the forehead. Moving out to the sides. And then just very gently, rubbing on the temples, just using my middle and third fingers. A little bit of stroking here. Stroking. Along the cheeks and the nose. Along the chin and the jaw. Just want to go just down the nose here. use my thumbs to smooth everything out. Just light finger stroking on the side of your face, just along the side here, do just a little bit more stroking before wrapping up our Indian head massage. There we go. Okay, just running down the nose here. There we go. Okay. Alright. So how was that? How was your Indian head massage? Yeah. That's very good to hear. I hope that it was extremely relaxing. So you're more than welcome to stay here as long as you'd like to just decompress and relax a little further, okay? And I hope to see you again sometime. So I hope you have a whale of a day and a good rest of your night. Thank you. Goodbye now. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please like this video if you want to, comment if you'd like to, and subscribe